Hello and welcome to another tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to be making a binary calculator game using .NET and C# programming. So let's take a look at what this project is. Okay, as you can see, we have an empty form in this project. So everything, all the elements that we're going to be adding to this game is going to be done through the C# script. So if I just run this program now, so the background of the form has changed. We have added lots of labels, combo boxes, and obviously the title and the score and the question. So the way the game works is the program will ask you what is a certain number in binary, and then we can choose 0 or a 1 from the combo box here. And then it will show you what the total is of those numbers alongside with the binary code here. And if we match that number, so if I go and zero all of them, so right now it's asking what is 12 in binary. So if I just match that number with the 8 and the 4, right, it shows a message box to say that your answer is correct. And click OK, and then it will generate a new number for us to solve inside the game. Okay, so we're going to be making this game in Visual Studio. So if you're going to go and create a new project, okay, so click on Create a New Project. Windows Form app.net, not the .NET framework. So if because I used it already, it shows up on my recently one. If you want to look for it, you can always type in forms here, and then it should show up as Windows Form app, and it also tells you that it's a .NET Windows Form app. Okay, click Next. Okay, we're going to name this project Binary Calculator Game .NET or ICT. Okay, click Next. So in here, we're going to choose the target platform. Our .NET 5 is perfectly fine for this one. So I click Create. So here, our project is now loaded. So what we can do now is we can go directly into the code view instead of doing anything with the form. So I'm just going to right click here and say View Code. Okay, so right now we are inside the C# script. So let's start by adding some variables. So first thing we're going to need is a array of integers. So we're going to call this one binary values. Okay, and this is going to be equals to. So inside the curly bracket here, we need to define how many objects we have inside the array. So we're going to start with 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. 128 and 256. So these are the binary values that are usually used inside the table, and we're going to be using this to do the calculations for this game. Okay, let's make some more space here. I'm going to need a random. There's a new random here. We're going to need a list of combo box. New list. We also need an int for total, int for question number, and we're going to need 3 labels. Okay, so that's a label. LPN total equals new label. The label is shows equals new label here as well. New label. Okay, so these are the variables that we need for this game. And now we're going to create a couple of custom functions here. So first one's going to be a private void load game. Okay, second one is private void reset game. Okay. And then inside the constructor here, we're going to say load game. So as soon as the form loads, we want this function to run. Okay, so first thing we need to do in the game is basically reverse this binary array. So basically what we need to do here is just say array dot reverse, and then we pass in the array that we want to reverse inside of it. Okay, so what this will do is it will go to the last one, and then it will reverse them all in that order. So that way 256 is all the way on this side. Okay, let's make a question number here. So this question number can be generated by a random number, but what we're going to do is just going to set a number for now. So just say 12. So the first question is always going to be what is 12 in binary, so that this way we can easily check whether the game is working as intended. Okay, and now we're going to say this. Say this dot back color is equals to color dot from argb. Okay, so this is for the form background. So we're going to say 64, 64, 64. So that's a dark theme. And let's say this size is equals to new size to 600 and 383. And let's take a look if we can run this one now. Okay, so as you can see, if you run this, the size of the form has changed and the background of it has changed as well, because we are controlling it all through the C# script. Okay, so let's continue on with the function. Okay, so now we need to add a header for this app. So this is going to be sort of like the title banner. Okay, so just say dot text is equals to okay, so this is the header text, and there's going to be a new line. So there's going to be 2 lines of text inside of this one. We'll set the auto size of this one to false, and then the width is going to be the same size as the form. Height is going to be 70. We want it in the middle center, so that's the content alignment. Okay, so the text color, font is equals to new font, Arial, and the size is 20. Okay, so we can actually change the font of the label. And then lastly, we need to say this, the controls, add, then say header. Okay, so this way the header is then added to the form. So if you run this one now, okay, so see the header binary calculator game by MoICT has been added here. That's the header. Right, so let's go with the question. So let's say question.text equals to what is. That's the question number integer here. And then turn it over and say in binary. Question.auto size is equals to false. Question.width is going to be equals to line size.width. Question.height is going to be equals 50. Text line is equals to control line middle center. Question font is equals to new font. Once again, we go with Arial and size 20. So here's a question.top is equals to 180. So it's 180 pixels down from where the rest of the body of the form is. So if I run this now, right. Okay. Okay. Lastly, we're going to say this controls add question. So with that, the question label will be added to the form. So if we run this now, okay. So as you can see, the question has been added. I think we just need to add a 4 color to this one. Let's say question.4 color is equals to color dot light green. Okay, so if you keep your light green, it should look better. Okay, so there you go. So you get your title, and then the question is coming here. So all the combo boxes and labels are going to be placed inside of there. Okay, so let's add the total label. Text is equals to total auto size is equal to false, and the total width is equals to this client size width. Total height is equals to 50. Next line is equals to container line dynamical center is fine. For color, we're gonna say color about white. So it's gonna be a white text. Font equals to new font, Real and then 20. And total the top is going to be equals to 230. So it's going to be 230 pixels from the top. And lastly, we can say this controls.add, and then just add the LBL portal to it. Okay, let's run this now. Let's see how it looks. Okay, so we have got our 3 labels added. The combo boxes and the labels need to be added through a loop. So it will be dynamically created inside of the loop, and then it will be placed directly onto the form. Okay, let's see how we do that. So I can say int x is equals to 30 and int y is equals to 120. These are the x and y values that we need for the label and for the combo boxes. So as we have for loop, so inside the for loop, we can say I is equal to 0, that's fine. Instead of the length, it's going to be 9 because we have got 9 entries inside the binary values array. Okay, and then inside of loop, we can say call the combo box class. So this is going to be the capital C one, and the list that we created is with a lowercase c. What we can also do is we can make it into combo boxes instead of just box. So that way it makes a bit more sense reading wise. Okay, so we can say the combo box is fine. Combo box, same box equals to new combo box, right? So that's a new instance of the combo box. And then now we can say box width is equals to 50. Okay. Box item add. So here we're adding the 0 and the 1. So we can add 0. Let's add also the 1. Box selected index is going to be equals to 0 because we want the box to have the first item selected when it loads. Box font is equals to new font. And we go with Arial again. And in this case, we're going to say size 16. Okay, and say box drop down style is equals to combo box style drop down list in box dot tag is equals to binary values to string. Okay, so what we're going to do is, as the loop is going through, we're going to tag each of the combo boxes with the values from the binary list. So the first one will have 256, second one will have 128, 64, and so on. Box.left is equals to x, box.top is equals to y, box.float style is equals to float style.flat, because we want like a flat design of the box. Okay, and now we need to add an event to this box. So we can say box dot selection change committed, right? And then say plus equals to, and then if you just double tap, that will automatically add an event here. Okay, and we'll come back to the event in a minute. Now we can say combo boxes dot add. Okay, so we're adding the box to the combo boxes list now. So this bar here is what's adding the combo boxes to this empty list that we created earlier. Okay, it's going to make it a lot easier to loop through it to change values and so on with the list. So this is end of the combo boxes. Now mind you, we haven't added the combo boxes to the form yet, but we're going to need to do that after we create the label that represents the values above it. Okay, so let's go and create a new label here. called LBL val, okay, equals to new label, val.text is going to be equals to binary values y.toString. Okay, so basically we're taking the integer binary values, and because we're still inside the loop, it's going to loop through all the items from 0 all the way to 9, and then it's going to be represented inside of these new labels that we create. Okay, and we have the font is going to new font. So let's say Arial again, and then change that to 16. So LBL val dot location. So we're going to need to put it somewhere on the screen. So we're going to move it to a new point, which is going to be X is going to be the same. Y, we're going to need it to be placed a little bit over the combo boxes. Okay, so we can say Y and then minus 32. So 32 pixels above the combo boxes. Okay, say LBL val auto size equals to false. The width is equals to 50. Height is equals to 30. What we also want to do is we want to color each of the labels and the combo boxes when they are generated on the form. Start with the color here. Color C equals color.form ARGB. Okay, inside of that, we're going to say random.next between 200 and 255. So I just want something like a light color, not a very dark color for the labels and the combo boxes. Okay, so we're just gonna try this out. So say random again, done next. So between 150 and 155. Okay, and then let's say random done next again. And in this case, we'll do 150 and 255. So that's just going to generate a random color, and we're going to apply that color to the label and to the combo boxes. Okay, so say lbl.back color is equal to C. lbl1.fore color is equals to color.black. So we can actually read the text. Okay, lbl text, lbl1.text align, the center is fine. Okay, and then we can say box back color is equal to C as well. So the box and the label are on the same color. Now we can say this controls to add. Let's add the box, and then we can say this the controls to add. Now let's add the label. Okay, and then lastly, what we're going to do is we're just going to add 60 to the X position. So what that's going to do is each time it does one item is going to basically add 60, so then next one is going to be added towards the right of the item. Okay, I think that's it for this function. So we're just going to run this one now. Let's see how it works. Okay, here we are. So as you can see, it loaded up the numbers from 256, 128, and it's also positioned them pretty perfectly. Okay. Oh yeah, that's because we left that line there. I'm just going to delete that line. So if you have left that line inside of the function as well, we can just delete that because that's triggering the function when we change the values of the combo boxes, but we don't need that line just yet. Okay, so if I run it again, as you can see, the colors have changed, right? And I can change the values of this. It's a drop down, background's working. Okay, it's pretty cool. So before we start off with the event that's going to calculate how the numbers are going to work, just to explain how it's actually planned. So each of these combo boxes have a tag of that value. So this value is attached to the tag here, right? So what we want to do is if the combo box's item is 0, we don't want to count the value from that. But if it's a 1, then we want to count it. So right now, if it's a 12, what we want to do is we want to be able to select 8. So it calculates 8. And then we also want to calculate 4. So what's it going to do is 8 plus 4 is going to be equals to 12. So if that number is exactly the same as the question, then that should show us a message box, and then move on to the next question right after that. Okay, so let's take a look at how to do this. So we're going to start off with the box selection change committed event. Right, so right inside of there, let's go and make a string called binary code. And this one's going to be equals to null for now. Okay, let's say total is equals to 0. So we reset the total integer. Let's do a for each loop here. So inside the each loop, we're going to look for combo boxes, and we'll call it combo. Right, and inside of here, so where we are searching for these are inside the combo boxes list. Okay, so inside of here, we can say if combo dot selected index is equals 1. So if it's got a 1 selected on there, then we'll create an integer called I equals to convert dot to int 32, and then say combo box dot tag. Now lastly, we can say total plus equals to I. Okay, right after that, we're going to say binary code plus equals combo dot text, because we want to also display the binary code of it as well. So what this is going to do is just basically going to go ahead and add all the text from the combo boxes. Okay, so that's it for the for loop. Right, so now what we can do is let's go and add, say, LBL total dot text is going to be equals to total. So it's obviously going to show the total of it. Plus, we want to add the binary option for it as well. So the binary is going to be the binary code. Okay, so that just should display what the code is doing. So if I just run this one now, okay, so if I pick 64, so it shows 64, and then it also shows the 64 in a binary value here. Okay, and it's adding all of them together. Okay, 511, perfect. Okay, so now we need to check whether the total and the question number is the same. So we say if total is equals to the question number, right? Because don't forget that total is being added here. Right, so because we're outside the loop, we can check so that once the loop has done its job, then we should have the final total, and then we can check whether the total is equals to the question number. We can show a message box here first. I'll try another, and then do a comma here and say no says. So that's the title of the message box. Then we will say question number is equals to random.next. So we just need to generate a random number between 1 and 510. Okay, so the minimum is 1 and maximum is 510. So it's just going to generate a random number in that, and it's going to display it onto the form. So we can say here question.text is equals to what is question number in binary. Okay, and let's also set total to 0, because that's when the new question is going to be generated. We can also binary code will be set to null, so we don't want the last binary code and this one to be similar. Let's run the reset game here as well. Right, and lastly, we say LBL total is text is equals to okay. So that's it for this event right now. So basically, we have got our first part, which deals with the calculation. So it captures all the ones from the combo boxes, adds it to the total, and also collects all the binary code and adds it to the binary code string here. Second part is which checks if the total and the question number is exactly the same. Then it shows a message box, generates a new number, shows the number onto the scene, resets the total and the binary code, and runs the reset game function, and so on. Okay, lastly, what we need to do is we just need to run the reset game function. So this one is going to have a symbol for each loop inside of it. We're going to look for more combo boxes. Let's go for combo again, and then we're going to look inside the combo boxes list. So what we're going to say here is combo dot selected item index is going to be equals to 0. So as soon as the function is run, it's basically just going to reset all the combo boxes on the scene. Okay, so if you run this game now, okay, so it's still asking for 12 as a binary. So let's go and pick 16 for example. So if it's 16, it's not correct. 8, 4. It shows a message box here to say correct, well done. Now try another. If I click OK, now it generates a 46 in binary. So let's go and say 32. That's a 48, 40, 44, and then 46. Okay, so once again, you got it correct. Click OK, and then so on. It's just going to keep on generating new numbers for the game. Okay, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I will see you on the next one.